And how are you guys doing today? I hope amazing. So we're back. We're going to be writing some more on our sci-fi. This is absolutely episode 3. I apologize for, and I'll correct the title later on. I'm going to get chat up so I can see what's going on. I think we're about to have a absolutely amazing morning. I'm having a pretty good morning. I've been up for a second. Got a whole little bit of water in me, got some coffee in me so far. And so at this point, I think we're about to be pretty, well, we'll be smooth. I think we're going to be good. Um, Let me double check that we have sound because that's always nice to know. Yep, it does look like we have some sound going on. Um, Literally, let's look over where we're at. We already know, well, most of you already know at least all of this. Good morning, Chill Vibes. I hope you're having a great day. We're doing a dark fantasy. I'm going to recover this large scale intergalactic, and I think it might be intragalactic because we have two different galaxies involved, but I'll look up that technical definition later on just to make sure. With a lot of death, destruction, and use of magic, this brought about the arrival of interdimensional horrors. Man retreated into safety. Basically, all the species did to a point. Let's just gonna we're gonna fill out a lot of the other races that we haven't got filled out yet. Um, and at this point of the story arc, man is returning out into the unknown forest or the dark forest of space. Basically, space in reality is a post-apocalyptic setting, and we'll write that. Caused, ooh, boom. I'm glad they corrected that. By a massive war and the emergence of the cosmic interdimensional horrors. Um, Things that we have inside of it, of course, are going to be genetic modifications, magic, cybernetics, and psionics type stuff. We'll put a P on that just because everything else got a P, right? These elements of Native American, Romanian, and pre-Indo-Euro type stuff, pretty sure we're going to keep that in there. I don't have it worked out exactly how I'm working it, except for like specific entities, and that I've got worked out. So this morning we're going to spend the first little bit fleshing out what we don't have fleshed out. Obviously, you guys know that we have multiple corporations. We got the Space Vikings, we've got the Human Faction X that'll get renamed, of course, which are basically a bunch of cultists they're loyal to the elves. They forsake all genetic modifications or cybernetics. Of course, the elves, of course, blame the horrors arriving on the humans because the humans basically did all that stuff, and they consider it that the humans basically were abominations at the time, and that's why the horrors have came. Blah blah blah. Um, the elves, of course, are supremacists. They think that they're totally superior in all ways. Let's see what else. They have living gods. I'm gonna just be honest. Some of those living gods in this book will still be alive. Um, by the end of the series, almost all the elven gods will be slain, just so you know, but that will come in a later book. That will not be in this book. Um, Spoiler alert there, right? Vital Duck, good morning. Hope you're also having a great day. I don't know what I'm wishing you have to do, except be epic. Before the war, the elves realized that the rate the humans were breeding was greatly outpacing them. They decided that that was a threat, and to reduce the populations, they actually decided to create a plague using magic that was zombies. Let's see. So when the Yeah, so we've got all that written up. We have an idea of all the stuff with the elves. It looks like that's that's taken care of. so we don't have to worry about it. We're all the way to the myriad, guys. The myriad of races, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them called the myriad or not, um, in all honesty. By the way, I do want to drop this because I feel that this is another super good thing to listen to. Absolutely fascinating. It's what would you call it? It's one of those things that is a mainstay of how we're going to write our stuff, just so you guys know. I've already listened to it, so I'm going to drop it out of here. But resources I would recommend if you're trying to write are the Tale Foundry and Quinn's Ideas. They're both YouTube channels. That video that I just linked is a fascinating approach to a book that a lot of us know and love, or a movie in most cases, and how it actually isn't the original version of the story. So, what we're going to do is, of course, draft one, we're going to get a framework down of the overarching story that we're telling. By draft two, we're going to have made the story better. By draft three, I'm going to actually go back through, hack huge pieces of the story out, and we're going to keep only the good, right? So we're going to almost overwrite, and then we're going to cut back. Now, that idea of keeping only the good in a story is absolutely one that I don't think is actually approached enough. And a lot of people just have a bunch of crap in their stories that actually adds nothing to it. And I'm not saying that we're going to be so perfect that we'll have nothing but things that add to our story. That's not realistic. And I don't have enough writing experience to be able to say that I could just pull that off in some profound manner. And what's important to all of us and what we glean from the story is going to be different. And so I'm not I'm not committing to being perfect at that. But our goal is to develop the story, flush it out, get it good, and then remove what does not need to be there for it to be better. So by draft four, that's where I'm going to add in a bunch of other stuff that just enhances the details, changes it over from in some sections where obviously I'm going to write and I'm just going to tell you what happened. In some cases, that's going to be the most valuable approach to situation or the situation. And in other cases, we're going to go back in draft four and I'm going to rewrite that section in a manner that shows you instead of tells you. And so that's the concept right now, is that by draft four, we will have a refined story that has a better set of details, a better set of showing you instead of just telling you. And by draft five, which that'll all go, draft five will go on like with people like that actually read through the story that aren't emotionally or attached in any way, and then little touch ups and stuff like that. That will probably be off stream because it will be basically based on notes from a bunch of people. Then we publish immediately. Okay, so that's what's going on. So once the myriad was led by ancient dragons, we already know the myriad of races is a huge amount of races. We're not even actually restricting it down. We also are just having that they had a large number of systems within a main galaxy, which is not the one we're in, plus a large number of planets on the rim of dark space, and well, but basically, I'll have to rewrite this section because it doesn't make sense. That's not part of the book yet, but all of these details will pour into the book. So, contains over 80 known species. This is what causes the Great War and actually unites the humans with the elves, even though the elves had caused the plague. I'm going to let you know, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to have it where the humans know right off the bat that the elves caused the plague. But in later books, and maybe revealed in this book, it will be figured out that the plague of zombies was caused by them. Hey, good morning, Zuck. Good morning, Avalonus. Good morning, Vital Duck, if I didn't say that already, and Chill Vibes. I hope you're all having an amazing morning. We've got placeholder race 1, placeholder race 2. Obviously, we're going to have to flush them out. Um, we're not going to introduce all of every single one of the species in a book because we're not trying to make a encyclopedia of the Galactica type situation. Let's get into this real quick. We've got one race already wrote up. The Tendrons are a species of the myriad that have long ago evolved to survive in space, capable of dimensional phasing and traveling great distances through teleportation. So I'm not going to put in the hey, they're this amount of meters yet. I haven't decided their physical description. I'm going to let you know by next week we will. Most of that, though, is going to unfold while we're writing the main book. So let's get our placeholder Tyriad race 1 done. Myriad. I don't know why I called it Tyriad there, guys. Don't ask me that. Oh, I'm on the wrong line. I am awake, you guys. Just. I'm always missing that I. Boom. We'll grab this like this. Man, I hope you guys are doing amazing. It's been a pretty good week for me, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so what are we thinking? We like reptilians, correct? We like to spell it correctly too, even. Mm. Yeah, my spelling's bad at first thing in the morning. Let's just say that, guys. My spelling in Italian is worse, though. We all know that from taking Italian courses, right? Reptilian race that was conquered long ago. Okay, and we're going to say that this is the core of the myriad armies. Now, that's going to be. We don't want to go almost half. Okay, so the largest percent of the Tyriad's force or Myriad's forces are going to be this reptilian race. Now, do I have a name for them yet? No, we don't need that though. We can do that later, just so you guys know. Let's boom, boom. Let's go like this. Boom, boom. Um, Okay, so we're making them willing to die on behalf of honor. Okay, so they consider their gods to be the dragons that control them. They're a reptilian race. We haven't decided physical attributes besides the fact that they're going to be aggressive, fast, and willing to die. Um, Outside of that, I like reptilian races. I think they're cool. Everybody likes reptilian races, right? So we're having that the dragons knew about the cosmic dimensional space horse. Our race 3 or 2. Honestly, haven't decided what they're even like yet. We could flush that out right this second. I'm trying to decide if that's a good idea or not. Or if we wait and we just, oh, wait. Mm, yes, we do know what we're doing. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to look up where Yanti come from. Oh, it's from Sanskrit. That makes sense. Okay, boom, Indonesian. I don't know who's naming their kid after the Yanti. I don't know if you guys know what Yanti are, actually. Mm. Oh, I needed to spell it right. Okay. Yanti are fictional snake man. Do we want to use Yanti or not really thinking we use Yanti? Let me think of what we use here. You know what I think we are going to use? Naga. I like Naga. Naga are actually a better. So we don't even need a placeholder for this one. Race 2, the Naga, right? We know that they're the Naga. I don't know if you guys know what a Naga is. Boom. Okay, yeah, see, these guys are going to know. Naga, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. I don't know what Jainism is right here, but I'll go along with them on that one. Are a half human, half cobra type creature, often large snakes. So these are going to be towering magical beasts. Looks like we're going with northwest and northeastern Indian and Myanmar type stuff. I feel that that's good. I like Nagas. Let's double check that we're keeping this correct. Okay, so our Nagas are a powerful species of magic users that act as the high priests of the dragons. We also know that Nagas are just huge. Okay, so we know that the Nagas are going to be powerful. This is going to be the core of their stuff. Now, almost all the other species that are in with the Tyriad are going to be conquered species, guys. So we can just like we need a species obviously to just be like the little worker bees, the fodder, right? So what do we think would be the fodder species, right? Let's make up something. We know we need one. Well, let's think about this. I'm trying to have a fodder species, and I'm thinking, well, let's just put placeholder 2, right? We have, oh, we've got placeholder 1 right there. We don't have a name for them. Placeholder 2, yeah, this is going to be placeholder 2. What are our placeholder people like? See, they like to do this kind of stuff where they, well, maybe I did that. I'm still waking up, let's just be honest. Placeholder race 2. I haven't decided what they're like yet, descriptively. Okay, so we're making them a disposable race. I know that sounds mean, but the dragons, they don't give a crap. They're like, we don't care. We have a whole race that we breed. We have 2 races. We've got that are bred just for war, right? We got the reptilian race that we'll make up a name on, and we've got this, we don't even know what they're like race. Who knows what they're going to be like? I don't know what they're going to be like. That'll probably come to me at one random point while we're writing. So now we've got space trolls. That's a danger in space. That's not owned by anybody. We've got the zombies. We know that those are going to kill somebody for sure. We'll probably kill somebody with a space troll too, you guys. During the Great War, we have humans were slowly drawn into the conflict by the elves through manipulation and the use of the loyal human faction, which we know that that's faction X. During the climax of the war, the pitch of death, use of magic, and utter destruction had brought attention to our dimension from long forgotten planes of existence. Something, and we haven't blamed what does rip it open yet, right? So is this going to be we did it because, like, yeah, they had our attention, but they were on the other side of the looking glass situation? But then, of course, during the war, somebody drops a bomb or something and it tears space. Or does, just during the climax of the war, do they just culminate enough salivating desire to come over that they push their way in? I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. That's to be written up in the thing. When the Horrors first arrived, they used their godlike powers to sweep across the dimension, feasting on the destruction and consuming all forms of power they can find. At first, they focused on the most powerful creatures and large populations, bringing death, destruction, and torment to any of the worlds they reached. Blah, blah, blah. World after world fell to their power, some being wiped completely out. I'll probably switch those up because mentally I flipped it so it probably reads better. Wiped completely out. I'm not sure if which one's better. We'll deal with that during a different draft, right? when we actually start writing. The difference between the horrors were immense. So these are not a unified creature. In fact, they don't even all like each other. Um, we already established that with the fact that we created an exalted god-killing horror that will eat other horrors even. The dragons who had long known about the horrors warned their followers in the myriad of the dangers and tried to confront and stop them, but they were defeated. So I'm going to let you know most of the dragons we're going to have dead, but we are going to still have some dragons. The most exalted horror who came to feed on the power that had been unleashed during the Great War, which we'll probably not use the Great War, but who knows, it could be left. Actually, we won't use the Great War. We'll change it to something better sounding than the Great War. That's overly done. Maybe we'll reference it as the Great War through a couple people's mouths, you know what I mean? But when the dragons gathered their immense armies and massed to defeat the horrors, it came through. Oh, wait, that doesn't make sense. When the dragons gathered their armies and massed to defeat the horrors. Oh, this guy came through. Specifically, it came through. We'll get rid of it so that's not confusing. The God Eater came through. Boom. Seeking to feed on the dragons and add to its own power, right? That makes sense. Quickly, almost all of the myriad fell, and many of the dragons were hunted down, destroyed, or captured. So we've got a captured dragon somewhere. I didn't even realize we had wrote that, but let's keep that. Let's keep that. And we'll keep it that the myriad. Hey, good morning, Fire Debug. The myriad definitely wants to get their dragon god back, as it is being slowly fed on by one of the horrors, the eater, and corrupted. But we haven't wrote that yet, but we will write that right here. Okay, so boom. A few of the dragons were taken without being destroyed so that they could be kept and fed upon, slowly corrupting them and twisting their very nature. So they're already not nice, obviously, right? Our dragons have already like invaded other worlds, other stuff like that. Most of the worlds are going to be left empty. Hold on one second. Um, watch this end. Boom. See how fast we're writing on that? That's nice. Most of the worlds of the Myriad were left empty, and even the Myriad's home galaxy was invaded by the cosmic horrors. So we're not going to get into their home galaxy, just so you guys know, at any point. Just so you guys know. It is early. Yes. Yes, it is. It's 5:30 something where I live right here, guys. This is I know. I ask myself, what the crap am I doing up at this time all the time? Minus I wake up at this time. Oh, boom. So we are all the way down to the horse section, you guys. Look at this. So obviously we have an immense amount of horse. We've already got a section on the God Eater, kinda. I'm going to fill that out better. This one What are we going to call this one? Okay, this is going to be known. I know you guys are like, what? This horror right here is known as Agony itself, right? We don't know what form it takes. We'll even write that. Yeah, I don't know why I put so much extra stuff in survive, but whatever. Okay, in place. Okay. The horror known as Agony itself, though no one has ever survived after seeing it. Um, we don't need this extra it in there, guys. That's extra. Is no. Oh, you know what? This is bad writing right here. Oh, I'll fix this in a little bit because it doesn't make sense. Okay. So he's a pain eater, right? That's what we're going with. Pain eating guy. The horror known as Agony itself has never been described. Oh, yeah. As all who have countered it have slowly been tortured and their energy consumed. Now we can use the word it. It is known that once Agony, it arrives, and we can just call it agony at this point. It causes madness and then slowly corrupts the population until violence breaks out. After enough chaos is in place, it then starts working to torture and feed on the pain of the remaining populations, leaving what are we going to say? Leaving only the horrific evidence of the horrors, or what do we want to call it? No, because we're using the word horrors in a different manner. I don't want people to be confused and be like only the horrors. No, let's think here. Only the evidence of victims. It is really early. Okay, so basically we know that this one just tortures, is horrible feedings on the pain, right? Okay, so we've got that in there. We know about the horror known as agony. That works good. I don't know how many of these we need to knock out. We might do. You know what? Okay. Oh, that's dyslexic right there, guys. We won't. Boom. Okay. Hey, good morning, Ronus. I hope you're having a great day. By the way, I'm sorry. I literally am kind of still in one of those disoriented. Hey, we know what we're doing, but we don't know exactly what we're doing right this second. It is morning. Okay, the rotting maggot worm, known. I don't know what we call this. Okay, the rotting maggot worm, known by many names, brings infestations of the living. So, literally, this thing's going to be a horrible thing, causes disease, and takes over the minds of its victims. Okay, so the maggot, bathe, bathe with an E. Okay, the rotting maggot worm, known by many names, brings infestations of the living, causes disease, and takes over the minds of its victims. These victims commit horrible acts of slaughtering, offering up the remains of the dead for the maggot to feed upon and bathe in the rot, right? So that one we will probably kill. Just gonna let you guys know. It would be logical that we kill that one. We've how many do we have? The God Eater. We'll fill out this part on him in a second. Honestly, not right now. We'll try to get more of this stuff done. I'm gonna leave 3, 4, and 5 open. There are lots of lesser forms of horrors. Ooh, let's go back here. Unto themselves is what it should have been. Boom. Hey, Rudavo, good morning. How you doing? Many of these lesser horrors take countless forms. Not do countless. Yeah, let's leave it as countless forms right now. Now, numerous. Oh, I'm glad they corrected that for us. Forms. Hmm. Trying to think of what I'm saying here, guys. Many of the lesser horrors take numerous forms, more like savage creatures. Okay, boom. So we don't know the backstory of the other, hey, these are just blah blah blah. We're only really dealing with the greater ones up here, like the rotting maggot, the agony, the god eater, and stuff like that. This guy, this, hey, honestly, I'm trying to think of what we do with. We know that one of them is going to be human like, guys, or godlike in some ways. Hmm. Okay, so this is gonna be the one. We've got these guys up here, right? We've got the elves that betray the people, the other elves. It's way up here, guys. We'll go back up here. Blah blah blah. These guys, placeholder group Elf 3, right? With the arrival of the horrors and believing that it was judgment upon the whole of this plane. Let's fix that. For the abominations of the humans and the way being lost of the other elves, they sought out a powerful whore, pledging loyalty and sacrifices, right? So this whore right here, that's gonna be the placeholder group 3. Go down here. Ear itched. It's crazy. Placeholder elf uh, group 3. Oh, ooh, I'm putting that on the wrong line, you guys. We don't want to do that. Copy. Boom. Mm. So, so placeholder group. This guy looks like an elf. We haven't decided exactly what an elf looks like yet. I'm not sure if they're taller, shorter. We're not doing Santa Claus elves, obviously, guys. We're doing real elves that are not like that. We'll probably make them lengthy and tall and stuff like that, to be honest. And weaker than humans. Oh, you know what? Boom. So now we know we got the cruel lord, and I haven't decided if it's going to be female form god, male form god. Who knows? I have no idea. Real quick, I'm going to use the restroom. I have plenty of coffee. I'll be right back. I see the little red light. See, that's what happens when you drink. Woo! I almost slipped on something running across my floor, guys. Um, that would have been a loud kaboom. So that's what happens when you drink a bunch of water and some coffee right before you start streaming your story writing. We're not gonna make up our other main horrors, right? The second. Because I don't know who they are. I don't know what we're gonna need. We might want to throw something fascinating in, blah, blah, blah. We decided the main character was from the Confederation of Planets, right? So he's a Confederate. That's excited. Hey, Chill Vibe. Hope you're having a great day. So, let's think of what we're saying here. I think we've got most of the world building done, right? And we can move to our main character and sub character development, right? At this point, I think you guys get what's going on. We're gonna have a storyline like at least started by next week. I almost think we almost might have it. Okay, so I've already told you guys our main character's a mess, so I'm gonna kick him all the way down here. I already let you guys know we're not having some hero that's just like, and it was ordained that a hero would rise, and his life was perfect, and even in the midst of destruction, he's skipping through life. Nah, our guy's a mess. Our hero in this book, for one, is a total mess, right? So let's go off on what a mess. Our hero, for one, is literally and we don't have a name for him yet. I'll make up a name. I haven't made up a name yet. Let's just be honest. He's from the Confederation of Planets. Okay, boom. We know that part. He's lived on the industrial space station his whole life. Let's put that where it goes under the blah blah blah. Boom. Confederation of Planets. Okay, he is a junkie. That's right. You guys didn't see that coming. Don't worry, we'll overcome that eventually, but not in the most. And he is also a womanizer. Of course, I spelt that wrong. I don't use womanizer ever. Let's get an I in there. I did mean womanizer like that. Never actually wrote the word womanizer in my life before. Looks a little different than I would have thought. A junkie and a womanizer. Okay. Uh, okay, so he's brilliant and he's a technopath. Okay. So this guy's smart. Let's figure out what did we call the word that we used up here? Let me go up this way. I want to be consistent with what we call things, right? Technomancy. What do we call that? You know, I'm searching for the correct word. What would we call it where somebody's just naturally gifted but they don't know about it? Let's just call it unknown dormant gift. Okay, so we've got an unknown dormant gift for technomancy. So this guy not only can feel through psychic forces and energy, technology, right? But he also has a dormant gift for technomancy, which is the magic of controlling technology. I know we're giving him a lot of techno powers. Let's think about that. That's not hard yet. We'll figure it out. We got to have him having some powers. Okay, so this guy's a mess. Our main character is from the Confederation of Planets. He lived, let's put lives, boom, on one of the largest industrial space stations. Oh, lived. Okay, yeah, I guess we did call it lived. We're right. Lived on one of the largest industrial space stations for his whole life. Let's write he has lived. That makes more sense. He has lived on one of the most largest okay, blah blah blah. He is a junkie and a womanizer. He is brilliant and a technopath with the ability to feel and manipulate most of technology, with an unknown dormant gift for technomancy. For most of his life, he has used his intelligence and gifts for getting the next high or sleeping with whatever girl he currently fancies, though unable to maintain any real relationship, right? So this is our main character. Totally a mess. Um, I'm going to let you guys know that basically for story arc, a lot of this book is going to be him making mistakes, and slowly we're going to make him through brutal force, by brutal means. His story arc, and when I mean brutal, we're going to not be nice with him. Well, we won't say person after person. Well, let's just say through brutal means and losses right now. He's gonna get a bunch of people killed, you guys. Like this guy is not, if you guys are wondering if we're making somebody likable at first, no. This guy's a total jerk. He's not gonna be a nice guy. He'll get nice, but literally this guy's going to be a mess, right? So we got a junkie womanizer who just happens to have some gifts. He's going to get people killed because he's literally always just looking for getting that next high. And um, we're going to correct that. We're by the end of this book, this guy will be usable in other books because he will have his crap together. Boom. Himself. They like to correct us. I like that they correct us. Okay, so right off the bat, if you guys are wondering what the story is, right there's the story. I mean, that's not the whole of it, but literally, we know in the end of this book, he will not suck as much as he does in the beginning of the book. We've already foreshadowed the dormant gift for Technomancy, correct? So nobody's confused about that, right? Okay. Sub characters. We've got a lot of sub characters. Let's say that these are main sub characters because we're going to have a lot of disposable characters. And let's just be honest. Um, we're going to introduce extra people that are not meant to survive. Guess what? A lot of the disposable sub characters, they're going to get killed because of him. I know. That's a jerk move on our behalf, right? We're like, hey, we're making it where you're a total mess up and you're going to get a bunch of people killed. Can you believe in just writing up our outline-ish stuff, we're at 19 pages of outlining things? I'm proud of that. It's going to make writing this super easy. Okay, so one sub-main character and is going to be, well, we know we're using Vikings. We know that one of them is going to be a surviving Viking, right? Okay. This guy is not a hero. Okay, so if you guys don't know what an anti-hero is, well, you guys will find out. But this guy is not a hero. He's willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, so his whole life. Okay, so this guy, Viking who will survive, is an anti-hero. He's still a hero, guys. But and he's going to be a pivotal thing, But we don't have his name yet. We don't need his name. He's lived his whole life just looking to survive, right? He thought he's went after trophies from raids. He's lived only by killing until the day he knows will come where someone else eventually kills him. So he has no like, I'm gonna get old and die. Nah, he's literally just a raider. He's murdered a bunch of people. Not a good guy, but a good guy, right? Born into what he's born into. We have other sub main characters, but because we haven't wrote the book yet, I don't have them. Well, I do have them actually, because we know, right? Okay. And this person we don't have our name for yet either. I know, right? We've got so there's not a lot of good guys in our book. You guys, if you guys were thinking we're writing a book where a bunch of good guys are going to prevail in the end, we've got a bunch of people that are a complete mess and not that good at guys, and they're going to do good things in the end. But legitimately, we're not starting off with like good guy, bad guy idea. We're starting off with just some holy crap. Avalonis, I hope you're having a good morning, by the way. Okay. And I'm not going to develop this out too much. I already know what they did in my mind, kind of, but I'm still mulling it through. Okay, so this is our corporate officer, and they're going to be found in a prison hulk. This is, just so you guys know, a she. She is also not a good guy. I know you guys were like, "What? You're adding a she?" Yeah, we're adding a she, and she's a prisoner, obviously. Yeah, I know you guys are like W and TF. Yeah, well, she's done some horrible stuff in the past. Let's just say that. Uh, that's gonna fill out later on. I already know that that's who the guy. That's who we're gonna retrieve from the prison Hulk that we've already established is gonna happen, right? Okay. Now we've got the disposable characters. These guys, whew, these guys are not gonna live. Um, we have his friends, and I'm not sure how many of his friends he's gonna get killed. I'm gonna let you know the reason he gets on his adventure is also gonna be not for the best reason. I know his drug dealer. Also, his drug dealer's a disposable. We're gonna be okay with killing his drug dealer. Don't worry, that's gonna happen probably eventually. I'll fill out his drug dealer's data later on. We're not that worried about it. Well, I feel we have that skewed a little bit. I feel we have all these skewed just slightly. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's two. Obviously, we're going to have many of the Vikings, and we don't care if a bunch of the Vikings from the raiding party die. So they're going to die in very bad ways. Um, we're going to kill most of his friends, just to be honest, too. So he's going to start off with his friends and the drug dealer for the most part. Okay. You know what? I haven't decided out too much of the stuff on him yet. So let's leave right there. And this is character. Oh yeah, main characters drug dealer. Okay. So we've got the main character, drug dealer, um hmm, looking over this, you guys. Well, basically anybody else they can die because we don't like we're not attached to them in any way, right? Let me look over. I'm just attempting to make sure we've got what we have in place. Obviously, we can kill everybody else in up there. You know, like random elf, they can die. Random this, they can die. Um, I feel that that's reasonable. We're gonna add to this, but we know that this is what we're going in with, right? Um, so there are gonna be more disposable characters. We'll have to add them, honestly, later on, guys. Okay, let's start our stuff then. Dun dun dun. We're gonna go like this, go like that. Outline. I know you guys are like, WTF, you just do that? Yeah. We know enough about what's about to happen, right? You guys feel we have enough? We know we've got a druggie. We know blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, oh, I like it like this. Then we like it like that. Okay. Chapter 1. Our character's broke. And he's looking to score. That's it. We know that that's at least going to happen in chapter 1. Let's figure out what's going to happen beyond chapter 1, because obviously we're going to delve into it more, and I'm going to bring that up. We don't need chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. We know eventually, right, in one of the chapters, um, and see, here's the deal. A lot of these chapters are just going to be us getting to the end. So I could literally go to chapter the end, right down here, right? Let's do that. Because the middle is everything that happens to fill it out. Our character will not be like saving the universe. So if you guys think in the end universe is saved, that's not what's going to happen. In the end, our character has his stuff together. Okay. Now, obviously, you guys know that we're about to have a whole bunch of crap between like our character is broke and he's looking to score his next high. Oh, they're gonna ban us right here on this book, guys. So our character's broke. He is looking to score his next high after a night of drugged out sex with a prostitute. That's chapter 1. We know no, that's not chapter 1. That's our outline. We know that's where we're gonna start. Literally, that's easy as crap. Now, we know that at one chapter, I'm gonna just call it Prison Hog like this. Oh, it's Hulk with a K, yeah. Okay, boom. So boom, 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 we got that. Now this chapter, we kick it down because we know that they're not just going to show up there, right? So we know chapter 2, we kind of have an idea that chapter 2, right? He's going to have to. Hold on 1 second. I'll feel those are even. Okay, boom. I don't know exactly what happens in chapter 2 yet because I'm not going to say that it goes directly to a job. I might have a chapter where something else happens in between here. But let's say that we do know by chapter 3, and this could happen earlier. Okay, so we know in chapter 3, let's click this down. He's going to get offered a job. That. Hey, thank you very much for lurking, by the way. I hope you're having a great day. So, boom. I'm gonna say that somebody's gonna die when they go planet side. So we know by chapter 4 we're going planet side, right? Or are we going across space? We don't know yet. Could be travel across space. Is traveling across space its own chapter? Does something occur then? Does he just stay high the whole time, traveling across space? I haven't decided yet. But we know, but by chapter hashtag, we're freeing a girl from a prison Hulk, right? Obviously, that's not going to go good. So let's click this down here. Boom, boom. Chapter 4, I feel. Oh, oh, I see what happened. Boom. Too high is 2. Boom, boom. So maybe that's chapter 5, right? Because we're obviously, yeah, that's chapter 5 right there. Boom, boom. Chapter 4. I don't know if we need a full chapter, if this is going to be a short chapter, or if we have a short chapter, he gets high and sleeps with somebody on the thing, right? We're going to have a whole space trip. Thinking, okay, so obviously we're going to have a junkie traveling with them. See, we've got 5 chapters of outline right there. Boom. We actually have a little bit more because, boom, 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 boom. Like it. We don't know what happens in chapter 2 yet. I'll have to figure that out. Let's just be honest. Some stuff. We know that they're going to be in a prison hog, and we know that he's going to get somebody killed here. We're not jumping directly to the prison Hulk, though, right? Okay. So I don't know what happens between here and the prison Hulk. to be honest yet. So we'll put that as chapter question. We know it's 6. We'll just say 6. And in all honesty, let's just tell the truth. By mm, let's get somebody killed here too. Oh, you know what? This is likely to be an aftermath type thing. We'll have to figure that out, honestly, guys. I haven't thought through chapter 6 yet. We've got to actually come up with our chapter 6. Part of this is while we're writing, I believe that this will write up itself because we'll know what happens between here and here. I'm going to have to figure that out. Now, just so you guys know, these are not solidified, like, don't take these concrete and stuff, right? We know we're starting here and we know we're ending here, right? We know that this stuff will happen in here. Do I know exactly that it's going to happen here, here, or here? No, not at all. I have no idea. I don't need to know that. I don't feel you guys need to know that either. I feel we're all comfortable with the fact. A whole chapter, though, is going to be with him breaking in, using his stuff to get access to the medical stuff aboard the ship, and then basically getting high and hooking up with a trashy junkie that's traveling with him, right? Now, literally, I'm not going to write in live the sex scene stuff into the book. I will mention the fact that that happens. When the book gets published, though, literally it will get more graphic. But that'll be put in like reiteration 5, 4, 3, I don't know, something like that. We won't throw the sex scenes in immediately. So if you guys are thinking that's going to happen immediately, it won't. But there will be sex, obviously, because we've declared him to be a womanizer who can't get his crap together, right? And his only priorities are like, who can I get tail from, and where can I get my next high? I know that's not the way to be. That's how he is. Sorry. That's our hero, guys. That's how he is. So let's think about this. Our character's broke, so we know money and stuff like that's going to be involved. We know, so we know that this is going to be from our drug dealer. Where is our people? Sub characters, blah blah blah. Sub character. Okay. Boom. Offered a job. Boom. Okay, he is offered a job by his drug dealer who he owes money to go off planet, to go planet side to help retrieve a data file on the location of the corporate officer. Um, I'm almost. Yeah, that looks good. So you know what? This is gonna be likely him getting the job because of something he does. Oh, and see, we're going to be thrown off a whole little bit. So, so he's going to get together some money. Okay, boom. So, chapter one, we already know what's going to happen in chapter one. Our character is broke. He is looking to score his next high after a night of drugged out sex with a prostitute. He goes to his friends to convince them to give him their money so he can get a hookup from his drug dealer so that they can all party, right? So he's not trying to be a hero, he's not even looking for a job. So in chapter 2, we know that he's going to go to get that drugs and he's going to end up offered a job. Okay. Okay. Boom. And we don't have a name for this crime boss guy at all. So the crime boss witnesses it. So we can get rid of he owes money. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. See what I'm saying? This is going to be fast written, guys. Fast. Okay. So, right this second, we already kind of have a loose outline that we know that he's going to get somebody killed early, right? By, yeah, by chapter 5, somebody dies. That's easy to know because we've already decided that. We already know what happens all the way up to chapter 5. And in all honesty, we're only looking at what, 12 to 16 chapter book. I mean, obviously, this is not going to be like this simple as like we'll get detailed and we'll start writing this. Now, I actually myself don't know what happens between here and here or here and here. That will have to work out. I'm going to just be honest with you guys, okay? So, but we do have an idea of what we're doing. You guys got it now? Um, at one point, we're also going to probably have him run into some powerful character. Let's figure out where that would be. It would be after this. And obviously there'd be a chapter, some chapters between this and that. Question, we don't know what chapter. Yeah, that's right. I'm only giving it to you guys as the bearded traveler. I know who the bearded traveler is. Literally, I'm gonna tell you that as weird as it is, we're gonna reach back to when I said that we were gonna go to pre-Indo-Euro type stuff. We are really gonna go to that. If you guys want me to spoiler alert it, I could tell you who we're gonna use. But then if you look it up, you're gonna know some stuff is up, right? Um, uh, I'm gonna let you know this is not gonna be kind either. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say how unkind it is yet. But basically, by chapter 7 or so, he's going to have his addiction purged. I'm going to also let you know, we know right here, boom, chapter, what's another symbol we could use for we don't know what's going to happen? At. Ooh, ooh, we don't want to at me. I'm not trying to at people. I just want chapter at. Okay, we'll spell check that real quick. Okay, so obviously none of the people he's around are good people. So by chapter something, he's going to be abandoned and betrayed. That's okay, because he probably is going to deserve it, right? We've got lots of chapters between this. Okay, let's think of what this is. Chapter plus sign. Because we don't know what chapter it is. Okay. I'm looking over everything. There's other chapters in here, guys, just so you guys know. So let's look at what we've got as an outline right now. And I know that this is, you guys are going to be like, obviously there's going to be horrors thrown in here, right? At one point, they're going to come in proximity to a horror. I'm not even sure when that's going to happen. It'll happen when we know that it feels correct. And the horror will also kill somebody. So at many points in here, somebody dies. So we could just write somebody dies, somebody dies, somebody dies. I don't even know who all he's going to get killed. But so we've got chapter 1. Our character is broke. He's looking to score his next high after a night of drugged out sex with a prostitute. Which this will be more descriptive. I mean, like, obviously it's in the post stuff of it. He goes to his friends, convincing them to give him their money so that he can go get a hookup from his drug dealer so that they can all party. That's a chapter. Then, when he goes to see if he can get some stuff with the money he's gathered from his friends, the drug dealer takes the money for his debts, then lets him know that he has an opportunity for him because of his technopathic abilities. He breaks a file for this guy, which is witnessed by the drug dealer's crime boss, which we'll have names for these people. It won't just be crime boss, blah, blah, blah. He is then, in chapter 3, offered a job by his drug dealer on behalf of the crime boss after witnessing his technopathic skills to go planetside to retrieve a data file on the location of a corporate officer. Obviously, we're going to go and get that person out eventually. During his space trip, he gets access to the medical bay, where he is able to get a lot of drugs which he uses to get high and hook up with one of the junkies traveling with them. Okay, by chapter 5, he's going to cost somebody their life. I'm going to go more than somebody, and we're going to go lives. And this is going to be because he's too high. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys if this is going to be zombies, if this is going to be a space troll, if this is going to be a blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I don't know. So at this point, I don't know what exactly is going to happen or how many chapters before we finally get to the going to the Space Hulk. At least a chapter will happen. Someone will die, likely, but maybe not because of him. Okay, just so you guys know, chapter 6, yes, somebody also dies. But this one, we're not going to have it be because he's high. This is just somebody gets killed. Not a lot of his friends are going to live. His friends and he and his friends enter the prison hulk to retrieve the lady corporate officer from her cryo prison. I'm going to let you know this lady, she's definitely, I don't know if we're going to consider her a good guy, but she's in jail for a reason, and it's not some petty crime stuff. It's some like, hey, mass stuff, okay? It's okay. He's letting her out. He doesn't know crap about her. It's all being commissioned by a corporation. We'll write that in there somewhere. Well, you know what? We don't need to. He doesn't know by there. Well, at some point he's going to run into the corporation. I'm going to say at this point the bearded dude abandoned, he's going to get nuked over on that point. Some redemption, but he's still imperfect by this chapter. Honestly, I don't know how many chapters we're going to end up with between here. But we'll go dash, 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 chapter, blah, 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 because we don't know what chapter that is. So we have multiple chapters that I don't know what the crap we're doing with yet. What I'm planning on as we write chapter 1 and 2, and then get into chapter 3, then we have an idea of what would be between here and there. Now, if by the time we're done with chapter 3, it doesn't make sense to just jump to here, obviously all of a sudden chapter 4 is whatever would get us there. And that is literally going to be the system. So by the end of this book, then we'll go through, we'll read it. Well, I won't read it live. Maybe I will. I don't know. Well, probably not. I'm not probably going to read it live, guys. But we'll go back through, we'll figure out what's right, what's not right. We'll fix and touch up stuff. We'll add in some of the details. By draft 4, everything is going to be in there. By draft 4, I probably won't be streaming the what we do from there, because then we're finalizing the story and then it's going to proofreading and then we're going to publish. But the overarching idea of the story will be fully worked out by draft 3. Most of the details will be worked out by draft 3. The only thing that's going to change in draft 4 and 5 is the sex scenes will be added in more congruently, and proofreading and other stuff that makes sense to have done. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost 7. Let me go ahead and pull up our Twitch stuff and see who is absolutely doing stuff real quick. Well, that really confused me. I thought I was looking at we're probably going to raid over to Tooniversal, just so you guys know. Toon's been a really nice supporter. Yeah, and he's about to start his stream up. He has it on countdown at 1 minute and 30 seconds. And so I'm going to let you know. He usually clicks it in before then when we raid into him. I'm going to have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to be, hey, Ronus 420, I hope you have a great day. We're just raiding over right now over to Tooniversal. I want to let you know that on Wednesdays we're going to be writing for 1 hour. On Fridays we're going to be writing. Some days, honestly, guys, I'm not sure how righty I'm going to fill. We might just be randomly talking about some crap as we do that. I don't know. I'm literally confused on what will happen. But I do want to thank you guys for being just absolutely amazing and such great supporters of my channel. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace and very best wishes.